It's that time again. Playing jazz with my mate the other day, and he said, let's make this interesting, so we stopped playing jazz. Oh, hi, Bobby here, and following on from last week's lesson in which we learned to solo using just 4 notes, 5 notes actually, we're now going to turn those 5 notes into a fun phrasing exercise. Before we start, don't forget to pick up my free blues rock phrasing course that you can find in the link below. Do hit like and subscribe, and stick around to the end of the video for the bonus content. So just to summarise the last lesson, we were working within the confines of the E minor pentatonic scale, position 1, but just the notes on the D and G strings. So 12 to 14 on the D, 12 to 14 on the G, and a bend on 14 on the G. So that actually gives us 5 notes. It gives us the 5 notes of the E minor pentatonic scale. Only 5 notes in that scale. So we've got D, E, G, A, B, or the flat 7, the root, the flat 3, the perfect 4th, and the perfect 5th is the bend. That's all 5 notes represented. And the backing track we were playing over was an E minor 7 vamp. You can just use E minor 7 vamp at 85 beats per minute. Best demonstrate this phrasing limitation exercise, it's best that I play over the backing track and kind of talk you through it. Now, a limitation exercise can mean a lot of things, but what we're working with here is a physical limitation exercise. So we're just working within the confines of these 4 or 5 notes, 4 notes and a bend, and we're trying to get as much music out of that as we possibly can. So what I'm going to do in this particular example is prioritize rhythm over melody. We're only dealing with 4 notes or 5 notes anyway. So if we take a strong rhythm, so how about that? Da, 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 da. You can clap it. I'm going to play that with just 1 note. We're going to go. Just take that rhythm. You just vamp away on 1 note. What do we call it? Cheese and ham sandwiches. Cheese and ham sandwiches. Just take that. And just apply it to the scale. And every new note that you play doesn't have to be a different note. So you can see I repeated notes there. So, you know, I didn't just go, I went, you can stay on 1 note for longer, you know, it's more about the rhythm. Just have fun with that phrase. Cheese and ham sandwiches. Or you can use your name, you could use, I don't know, someone else's name. That's David Hasselhoff. David Hasselhoff. Or maybe beef stroganoff. Beef stroganoff. Beef stroganoff with David Hasselhoff. It sounds silly, but what you're doing is you're tapping into your internal rhythm. Everyone's got their own sense of internal rhythm. You know, you could be sitting in traffic and kind of tapping on the steering wheel, and that's the rhythm that exists within you, and it's just a way of kind of bringing that out and being able to use it musically. Thinking about rhythm. You could take TV commercials, so you could take that's auto glass repair, auto glass replace. If you live in the UK or Ireland, you'll probably be familiar with that commercial. Or washing machines live longer with Calgon. It could be anything. It could be a nursery rhyme. It could be just a phrase that you've heard. It could be pick up the paper, read the headline and try and turn that into a rhythm. So I hope you can see that the idea of that exercise is to be able to do a lot more with less. You know, if you really confine yourself to the parameters of that small section of the neck and try and squeeze as much music out of it as possible, it will really, really help your phrasing, even when you're playing more complex stuff. And also, don't forget to use space. It sounds really corny, but the notes that you leave out are as important as the notes that you play. Where's this bonus idea that you promised? Oh yeah, I nearly forgot. You can open up a lot more of the neck now if you play these 4 or 5 notes in 3 different octaves. So we've got frets 12 and 14 on the D and G strings, but we can play between frets 15 and 17 on the B and high E strings. And we can play an octave lower than where we started, between frets 10 and 12 on the low E and A strings. So we've got three octaves to play with now. So you can try some of the exercises from this video and from the previous lesson using 3 different octaves. That was interesting, wasn't it, Bouncer? Ooh. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to check out one of these videos for more content. I'll see you next time. Cheers.